Hello guys, it's your girl Nurse Kirsten. We are back with another video. Today I'm going to do a quick review on my favorite bag, the Chanel Coco handle. Mostly on this one, I mean it's really the same thing, it's just a color difference. We're gonna talk about pros and cons, pricing, what to look for if you are gonna purchase one from boutique or pre-loved, and how to know that you've got a good one. I bought this back in June of 2023 and it is my first ever Chanel leather bag. My first official Chanel bag was the pink Deauville tote, but until now I have not used it. However, this one I have used multiple times, so I feel like I can give a good review. As you can see, I also have a Twilly that I bought a couple months later. I felt like it was a good way to protect the leather handle. Unfortunately, the tag, it's literally hanging on by a thread, literally. And it's sad because that's where like the cereal is, but you know what? Chanel quality has really gone down, and we're gonna talk about that with this bag. Also, I'm gonna tell you like my mistakes with my first buying, so that if you're planning to buy for the first time, what to look out for and all of that. So stay tuned and I hope you enjoy this video. It has been quite an eventful day. So this is the small size Coco handle. When I was deciding on getting my first bag, obviously I thought, oh, a classic flap would be amazing. But at the time, I just could not justify the price. And to be honest with you, I regret not having jumped the gun sooner because the price just keeps increasing. At this point, it's so ridiculous.
I don't even think it's worth going to the boutique just for a first classic flap unless you do have the money, because I know so many friends and so many people who are selling theirs and it's pretty much brand new, only used ones. Like my friend is selling one right now.
She just doesn't like it anymore because she feels like it's not a good size for her, so she's literally letting it go for like $2,000 less than what she paid for. So that's a steal compared to you going to the boutique, getting something where you're unsure of the quality. There's a lot of good ones at the pre-loved market right now if you're after a good deal. I have never purchased pre-loved personally just because I have OCD like that, but knowing what I know now, it's not a bad idea. Like if you have a close friend that you can trust and you were there when they purchased their bag, then there's no mistaking it. You know what I mean? If you're just worried about authentication, and there are a lot of authentication services. I highly recommend Michelle Jessica, by the way. She's super nice and professional to work with. If you are looking for a good deal, the pre-loved market is definitely the way to go. But if you have OCD like me, you're after the whole experience, trying to develop a relationship with an essay, the whole shebang, then I can see why. But do understand you have to pay a hefty price for it. When I got this, it was before the price increase. This is the retail that it retailed for before, and then the tax and what I actually paid. I was looking for a really nice like classic vibe for my first bag,
and I noticed whenever I looked at like pictures, my eyes always went to the Coco handle, and I think it's because I really am attracted to the trapezoid kind of shape,
and I love handles. It's me. It's one of the reasons why I'm also attracted to the Lady Dior, because there's a handle. I just love having handles. This kind of shape is just something my eyes naturally gravitate towards. Kind of like when choosing outfits, I also like that A-line, and choosing a high waist skirt, I just feel like it really complements me. So maybe I subconsciously put that into a bag as well. I have the light gold hardware, which makes it really versatile. So if you are wearing silver, super cool tone, or if you're wearing like very warm stuff, it'll work either way. So this black leather, it's caviar, it's got a lot of structure. And what I like about this one compared to other Coco handles is this burgundy lizard pattern. I just feel like it gives it personality and makes it pop. And if ever you want to hide it and go a little bit more simple, you could do what I do, add twillies, do different color twillies. There's also feet, which is really nice because it helps kind of protect the leather when you set it down. Now, do I think that the feet on this bag specifically protects? Not really. That's mostly because defects in this bag. So I highly recommend that when you're purchasing your own Coco handle, inspect it well so that you won't have the same problems that I did. So the small Coco handle has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 diamond quilts across, and then in the back you also have the Mona Lisa pocket. If you open it, you have this compartment, this one, and actually a secret one in the middle that opens up if you want to put your credit card. And at the very back there's a zippered one. I rarely use the zippered one just because I'm a little bit lazy and I don't like having to open and zip. It's just too many steps. Despite the size of this, do not be fooled because you can't put as much as you think you can in here. So let me just show you guys how I fit the essentials into a Coco handle. In the middle, I like to put my driver's license and credit card. So quick access, or if I have any cash, gift cards. And here are my main essentials other than the phone which I'm using to record. Hand sanitizer, lip balm hand cream, lip gloss or lip balm, really thin. Look at how thin it is. Dior mirror, my little headphones, this blade because I always like open packages and stuff. Let me show you how that all fits in here. Sometimes when I'm using the smaller bags or if I'm struggling to fit stuff, I do remove the case, saving space. Goes in here. You know how some people show their like what fits video and they're like pretty much playing Tetris and they put the sunglasses on top? I can't do that, guys. I can't fill it up all the way because when I do, I've got kids and my life is just like chaos. If I open it, it'll go everywhere and I don't have time to be placing it all properly and perfectly. It needs to just be easily accessible. Quick grab, nothing on top of each other basically. The lipstick on the side, and then the teddy bear in the middle along with my credit cards, and then the mirror with the, what do you call it, my lip balm hand cream. And then right here at this spot is where I put my phone. And I'm telling you, I have the iPhone 15 Plus. It does take space. And when I put the iPhone, I still have a little bit of space that I could use for like papers, receipts. Side story, guys. I have gotten damage on the turn lock. Contemplated whether I'm gonna bring it to the store and have them replace it. It's pretty badly scratched, dented and everything. Because I had my bag on my side while I was in the car. And my dad opened the door when he was doing a car wash. And my bag just fell and went straight into the cement, got like scratched, and I was like, ah! And that was like my second time using the bag, so it just like almost made me want to cry. You do have a 5-year warranty. If it's something that's like a defect, they can go ahead and do it. Like if the strap randomly like breaks, you better bring it to the store. And you also have 1 spa trip for your bag. Tell them that it needs some love and care, so they will send it and they will do it and then bring it back to you. When you do get repairs though, it might take like 6 months, and that's why I was like, oh, I'll hold off for now. So pros is classic timeless design. It will always look beautiful no matter how many years pass by. Black caviar, so it's a high resale value. Light gold hardware, it's versatile. You get a strap that's removable, as you can see right here, so you can just use it as a handle bag. You can use it this way, put it over the shoulder, and if you're petite enough, you can do it across. I'm small chested, so it doesn't bother me at all. I don't have any boobs for it really to dig into, but I have heard some people it bothers them. It digs in. To me, there's nothing to dig in, so you know, I guess pro to being flat chested, right? Yeah, also you have this pocket in the back where you could just put like quick receipts. I love that it has compartments, lizard print handle.
The main thing that you will find with all Coco handles is that the corners
are high risk for wear and tear. I've used this about 20 times now, and I would say within like the 5th time I already found wear and tear. Whereas with other bags, if I just bump it a little bit, it's a little more resilient. With this one, because the corners are so sharp, it's quick to get damaged.
And the thing with caviar is it's a really resilient finish on a leather because it's kind of like a plastic embossed thing.
But the moment it gets damaged, that's gonna be challenging to repair. In a flat surface, it doesn't matter, right? Because you can scratch it all you want. It's resistant. But when you have sharp corners and you're bumping it like here and there, that's gonna take on some damage. I don't know if you can see on mine, but that's like really bad.
So this is the really bad corner, and that's because when I wear this, That's the part that bumps.
That's one thing that you're gonna find all throughout all of the Coco handles. That's not something you can avoid. Now, the other complaints that I have about this bag specifically, you can avoid as long as you choose a good Coco handle. As you know, their bags are mostly handmade. It's not gonna be perfect. There's always gonna be some form of defect somewhere. That's just how Chanel is. And I know it's crazy that they keep increasing the price when they can't like get it close to perfect. But your goal, you know, if you really care, there's some people that go and shop, they just ask, hey, give me this, and then they look at it, looks great, and then leave. And then there's people like me and my friend who are like really OCD, checking the stitching. We don't want anything that's chipping off, lopsided, and that's because of experience. When I first bought this bag, I didn't know any better.
I kind of felt like other people where I just got it, they were all the same and that's it.
And I went home. Even then I noticed it was a little lopsided. So that's one defect I found with mine, which I kind of massaged over time, right? As you can see, it's leaning like this. When I first got it, it was like this, guys. And I had to keep like massaging it to try to get it as even out as possible. And I'm like, oh, whatever. It is what it is. I didn't want to return it. I was too embarrassed. You know, I was a noob. But definitely return if it's something that is bothering you, giving you anxiety, and you're just like not pleased with it. The bag should make you feel happy to an extent. You worked hard for this money. You need it to not give you anxiety. It was giving me anxiety. I'm like, why is it lopsided? And I just had to psych myself. Whatever, it is what it is. Like, if I could go back in time, I would definitely return it and have waited for a more perfect Coco handle, because I found way too many defects later on down the road. So that's the first one, that it's lopsided. That's one thing you want to look out for. Position the bag, have them take it out for you when you're in store, have them put it down, look at it, and then take a step back and see if the flap is like sideways. I've worked hard on massaging it. I kept going like that until it improved a little bit. Also, the feet in this bag doesn't do that much in protecting the leather from touching hard surfaces. Remember when I told you guys that the corners are very sharp? Ideally, you'd have good feet to protect that. The corners are pretty much still touching hard surfaces when I put it down. See? They're still touching because, again, it was lopsided and the angle is not good. Another angle you want to look at after you've looked at the front, if it's lopsided or not, is the side angle. Put the bag sideways and see if it's leaning forward, leaning backwards, or perfectly in the middle. This is what you want it to look like, okay? Nicely in the middle. My bag is leaning mostly the front. This is what you don't want. Let me wait for that clock to finish. You want it to have a good angle where it's standing pretty straight along with the handle. You want it to really all line up. And then you look at the back, same thing. You check if it's even all throughout the Mona Lisa pocket. If it's sideways or lopsided, you want it to be as perfect as possible. And you don't want one side to look bigger than the other. Thank goodness that with this one, we didn't have any issues in the back. Like, seriously, there were enough. And don't forget that it's not just the bag that you're looking at, but you want to look at the handle too. Because sometimes you can have the absolutely like perfectly angled and structured bag and all even, but then the handle's like bending too much to the back or bending too much to the front, too much on one side. One way to check is in here. Just make sure that the spacing is pretty even. If you notice that like this is already at the edge of the stitching and this one is not and is more like towards this way, you could be like, this is not even. The good thing with the straps is it's smaller, thinner than the classic flaps or their other bags. There's a smaller chance of a defect with these. These are usually like tightly wound. You're not gonna have the issue that I did with my mini rectangle where some of the straps were too long and they didn't tighten in pulling it, and so it kept moving around too much. But with this, it's perfect. Of course, make sure that you're checking like stitching, that there's nothing loose, no stitches that look like the leather is about to break. Check the inside, the sign that says like Chanel, made in Italy or France or Spain with the gold. Make sure that it's nice and flat instead of like wrinkled. If it already looks all wrinkled and bad, that's just gonna keep looking worse. It's gonna crack and fade faster. They do this whole treatment to the leather to get this texture. Whenever they get to the corners, even with the classic flaps, it's not gonna be perfectly like embossed. You're gonna find with some Coco handles, with some classic flaps, whenever it's at the corners, it's not gonna have embossing as intensely. it might be a little bit more flat. But make sure that you start off with something that already has like a good protection. But if it looks like it's already starting to have some wear and tear, that's a bad sign, because you just know you're probably gonna hit it down the road somewhere like I did, and it's just gonna get worse from there. So that's why there's some people that strictly avoid getting Coco handles, because they just don't want to deal with it. Somebody had asked me what to look out for when they're getting a bag, and it's kind of different from bag to bag depending what bag you're getting. Generally, when you're buying a bag, look for the abnormals. And again, I want to repeat that until this day, I have not found a perfect bag. Like, there's always going to be something, and your goal really is to just find a defect that you're okay with. With my other pink Coco handle, when I bought it, I had actually chosen from two. I wanted to get the more perfect one. None of them were perfect, but the other one had a lot more defects, and the one that I got only has like one little thing that I could complain about. So I was like, you know, I'll go with this one, because everything else is literally perfection. Its corners looked great, was not lopsided, there were no stitching issues. I put it down, it was perfectly straight, it wasn't leaning back, leaning front. The structure looked good. On the side view, it looked great. The only thing was, when I turned it this way, it wasn't completely even, but I was like, at this point, it checked most of my boxes. So, and I'm pretty sure no one will be able to tell that at all. To the normal eye, you wouldn't see that imperfection. It takes a severe OCD like mine to really pick that up, and by like staring at it like this. You know what I mean? But for the most part, that bag is perfect. Let me pull it out so you guys can see. Oh my gosh, every time I look at it, it's so pretty. You know what's crazy? I actually wasn't planning on getting this. I was on the lookout for pink mini top handle from this collection. So it's the exact same color, the rectangular but with a top handle in it, and it's in lambskin. I initially was there for that because I had won the raffle, and they chose me to have the chance to purchase it, and if I don't want it, I would pass it on and let somebody else buy. I literally drove 2 hours just to see it. They brought out the box. It's fresh shipment from the day of launch. For some reason, when I saw it, it just like wasn't calling out to me. Yeah, it's cute, like I tried it on, but it just didn't speak to me. And while I was trying it on, looking at the mirror, I turned and my eye caught this, and I was just like, oh, let me see that real quick, which is weird because I already have that black Coco handle, but something about it,
the lizard print on the handle and just the color in general, I don't know why.
So I was like, let me try that on real quick. I tried it on immediately. When I put it on, I fell in love. There was nothing about it that I hated. Now, in my knowledge, I was like, do you have another one? Because now I always want to see at least 2, 3 if possible, but there was only 2 in store. So she pulls out the other one, and I inspect them both. And even she could tell, she's like, I think I like this one more. I was like, oh my gosh, we're thinking the same thing. She's like, yeah, it just looks more perfect. The other one was kind of falling over. So I was like, this is as perfect as can get. It's the one for me. I'm gonna have to pass on the mini, but definitely getting this one. And so that's how I got this bag. See how perfect it looks? See how straight it looks? And the corners, perfection. I don't know if you're as OCD as I am, but you can clearly see this one having like a leaning forward, and this is nice and perfectly straight. See how this, you just pick it up, you lay it, it's straight. This one, you want to lay it straight, it falls over that way. That's why this goes down, spot is higher, whereas this is more even, doing what it's supposed to and not letting anything touch. Whereas with this one, the feet can't do its job properly because it's all wrong. Guys, remember when I was telling you that's hanging on by a thread? Literally, this was like all stitched like that, and now this is what's left. If I pull on this, it's gonna come off. They are cute, but not gonna lie, I think the Dior ones are so much more feminine and so much prettier. But at least these are also versatile though. Use it as they're multi-purpose too, so you could use it like this, or you could tie it up and have it like a bow. They're a fun way to personalize your bag. You can do it just on one side and make a cute little bow, or you could cover the whole thing. I think I left it on long enough now on the handle, so I'm just gonna have it here as like a bow. You know, maybe that would actually help me in protecting this corner more. If I bump it, maybe this could save it. Now I just need a Twilly for this one, but I think I'm gonna get either the Dior one because they always have like something with butterflies and flowers and they're so much more feminine. But Chanel is having a sale coming up,
So there's gonna be accessories and Twillies and stuff. If there is a cute one, it's gonna be 40% off. So I think I'm gonna have to take advantage of it and grab one.
and I think that's all that I have for you guys today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you have any questions, concerns, and don't forget to hit subscribe.